Hello everybody. In this video I'm gonna talk a little bit about chipping medium, especially the one from Vallejo, because I got some questions about it and if I wanted to do a dedicated video about this product. I prepared a little rhino panel. It's a bit damaged, but that's not the paint on here is a bit damaged, but that's not going to be a big deal for the sake of this video. It's pretty hot here at the moment, so I have the window open. I'm sorry if noises from outside are hearable on the video. So I have this is just a gray primer. That's okay. No real need to do any fancy color or something for the sake of this video. So what I'm going to do first, I masked it roughly halfway. I'm gonna apply chipping medium to both sides, but I'm gonna do way too much on one side so that you can see the effect, what happens if it's too much, because you can't just pour the chipping medium on and hope it's going to do what you want it to do. So I'm gonna prepare my airbrush for that and turn the camera off for a bit. And be back in just a few seconds with the airbrush ready. So, and we're back. I put chipping medium in the airbrush. I'm gonna quickly turn off the sound of my phone. So, what I'm going to do is this side I'll do correctly and this side I'll do wrong. So, here we go. I'm gonna start with the correct side. Just apply a thin coat, and I hope you can see it when it looks wet now. Now I'm gonna turn it around. I'm gonna do the other side. Now, first of all, I'm gonna keep the airbrush way too close. So there's a really thick coat on this side, as you can see, which is way too thick. I'll do a little bit more on the other side. So this side should have enough. This is way too much and it's going to cause some serious problems later on, if it does what it usually does. So I'm gonna let this dry for a while, and then I'm going to paint on another color or two, and be back in a little bit then when this is dry. So it should be dry by now. I zoomed in a bit more so you can clearly see what happened on the wrong side is that it all really gets stuck together, whereas here it's nicely and even spread. Next stage obviously is going to paint it, so I'll zoom the camera out a bit, and just for the video I'm going to paint it light brown. You don't want to add in any water in case you're going to thin it down. The water will activate the chipping medium and we absolutely do not want that to happen right now. So I'm going to just spray a thin coat over it. You can already see probably that on the wrong side the chipping medium is causing problems already. The paint appears to be breaking up a little bit on the good side, but that's no problem. So just apply two thin coats. I'm gonna clean the airbrush quickly. I'm now going to, like I would normally do, quickly apply a simple highlight using bone white. If you're going to thin your paint down for using the airbrush whilst you're using some chipping medium, use some airbrush thinner or some other thinners like this, and so absolutely do not use any water. I'm just gonna quickly highlight the edge of the panel, nothing special. So that's good. So now we're gonna leave the paint to dry for just a little bit, and I'll turn the camera off, and when I'm back I'm going to chip the panel. So back again. The paint's dry now, and as you can see it's completely cracked up on the wrong side. There's like a few small cracks on this side, but that's not going to be a really big problem. We're going to solve that after the actual chipping. You can just paint on some edge highlights like I did in other videos. So I just put some water in the airbrush. I'm gonna soak it now and activate the chipping medium. Just going to leave it for just a little bit so it gets the time to do what it needs to do. A big downside to the Vallejo chipping medium compared to this one's from AK Interactive, is that the Vallejo chipping medium will always look wet. So it's sometimes kind of hard to see if it's dry or still wet. The heavy chipping medium from AK Interactive you will clearly see the difference between when it's just has just been applied and when it's on there for a while. So I'm going to chip it now. Take a small brush for that, chipping brush, and just gently that's how easy it is. Here you see the cracks are bigger, but also the surface is uneven due to the effect the chipping medium has underneath it. So I would always recommend just better do 2 really thin coats instead of 1 just too big, just too thick. You can also use a toothpick and make some scratches. So next would be highlighting the chips. Always highlight on the bottom side of the chips or the scratches. So I would, sorry for the really crappy brush, but for example if this would be the upside and that would be the bottom, put a highlight here, here, here. I'm going to, I don't know if you can see it, but this still looks cracked and bubbly and just doesn't look good. Also, what I can still explain is what the chipping medium actually does. It forms a thin layer between the paint color underneath and the paint color on top of it. Once you apply the water, it wants to let loose in an upward direction, so the layer underneath it will stay in place, where the layer on top of it will let go. If you don't trust yourself with it, what you can do is apply a coat of varnish, matte varnish, before you apply the chipping medium, so that you have a protective coat between your paint, your primer paint. I just primed this 1 layer. Normally I'll have 2, maybe 3 layers underneath it. and your chipping medium, so that if you accidentally go a bit too hard, and especially on, for example, resin models, you can quite easily go through to the resin. It's not really a big problem. You can always paint back in the underlying color if you want to. So I hope this video was helpful, and I'm sorry for me sounding pretty bad. It's really hot and I can't really stand the heat. So let me know if you want to know anything more. Good luck using this stuff yourself. I think it's a great product. Of lately I used the AK Interactive one a bit more, but it's just what I have at hand. I wouldn't say one's better than the other. The only difference is that the Vallejo one, leave it to dry for enough time so you're absolutely sure it's good. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.